Hello guys, your WordPress Speed Doctor here. So I've been trying to understand the difference between performance of object-oriented programming and functional / procedure programming. So instead of using objects, just use functions and plain code. Well, I've used this time a software I found somewhere some time ago. I can't really find the link for original software, but it was written in OOP, all right. And then I have rewritten it in functional procedure programming. You can pick the name because none of them fit. Anyway, so what we have here, here is the determine if we're going to test OPP or not. We will get some IP address. I'll show you from where. And what we're going to do, we're going to just test it if it's within the range for Cloudflare IP. So Cloudflare is a CDN, yes, and it has a certain IP range. So this original software is basically comparing incoming IP address against is this within the IP range. And here's this CIDR. So this is determined of like where the spaces of the Cloudflare has, and we're trying to nail it there. So it's not that simple software, and it has lots of things. So we've got here the CIDR range of the Cloudflare, and basically have a loop and matching the incoming IP towards this list, and if it's within this range. Okay, so here's the code. Now here starts just the function or functioning part. So I've got again array with the range, the same loop, and basically same structure as same functions. Everything should be the same really. So, and here on the end, here are the test IPs. So these IPs here are within the range. So this will on some point make true. And after this, no range. So this will always make false. Okay. So that's the setup. All right. So now if I'm running on 8.2 and we got OPP is true, let's execute here. And we've got here execution time. Now this is some kind of shared environment, so we need to make a few more. And so it's about 0.27, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 8, 2, 8, 2, 7, 2, 9. So about 2, 7, 2, 9, I would say is about the lowest, what usually is 3, 2. All right, 2, 7. So 2, 7 was most common number. Let's place here false. Let's see. 2, 8, 1, 5. All right. 2, 1, 1, 6, 1, 7, 2, 7. So 1, 6 really is the number what appears most. Okay, and so lower is better. Okay, it's faster done. The same work is done faster. I just forgot to mention. So here's just kind of a unit test that in both cases it's reading how many true and how many false it gives. So we have a 220 IPs within the range and 96 outside of the range. Okay, 96. So both gave the same results, and that's how we know that it's exactly the same algorithm and creating the same output. Now these results, because it's really on some kind of shared environment, I did some more tests on the more servers. So the rest of the video will be comparing on different type of CPUs. But so far I can determine that execution time was shorter, significantly shorter than on functional programming than OPP. Now let's have a look on the different type of CPUs and operating systems. So this is my local. I'm running on Windows. This is all our versions 8.1. Should be one of the latest or one of the latest. So here we go. OPP on my local is 64 kilo memory and 22 milliseconds time. If I go here where is a functional, is 24 only, comparing to 64, and half of the time 11 milliseconds. As well, this fluctuates, but this is about the value what I found appears most. All right, so and this is the Intel CPU 12th gen and running on Windows PHP 8.1. Now let's go to next server, and this is AMD EPYC. So what we have here, this is my test bench, so it's actually more accurate than the online test. And what we can see here, the memory is exactly the same as OPP on my local, but the time is quite higher, so 22 against 28, but the memory is the same. Now when we're going to functional, we see the memory usage again is 24 against 24, but the time is the gap between OPP and functional is much smaller. Okay, 28 against 22. Now we are on Intel Xeon Gold. So we see again 64 on OPP is 64 kilobyte of RAM and 19 milliseconds, so it's better than my local. And when we're going to functional, it's only 13. So you see the gap is a bit better, I would say. And again, the same 24 milliseconds, 24 kilobytes of RAM. Now, for some reason, peak memory here is high. I don't know why, but it seems to be whatever. Let's go on the last one. And this is the AMD Ryzen 7 900X, and that's actually the fastest I've benchmarked PHP on. And here we go, OPP 64 RAM, but it's only 6.5 millisecond on OPP, right? Comparing to my local is 22. So 6.5. When we're going to functional, the gap between is pretty close, but it's phenomenal time. Yeah, comparing to EPYC, where it's 22, and comparing to Intel Gold is completely different level of performance. So, but I would argue the gap is smaller here. Maybe it's getting faster. So it's still not conclusive if the OPP is actually slower, but I would say it's conclusive that it takes more memory. I would say that to compile it and put everything in place, there's much more overhead. And I will definitely craft more tests that would prove or disprove my theory. I would really welcome any of your comments, and if you have any ideas how to better test difference between these programming styles, please let me know. Of course, if I have any differences in the code, I try to be as precise as possible. But yes, let me know any kind of flaws, what you would see in my methodology or way of testing or whatever. The link is in the description to the code, and feel free to play with it and let me know any of your results you might find. Thank you much for watching and have a nice day.